Yeah! Looks like it's working. Sweet. I'm always a little uncertain when it comes to OBS, my particular streaming software of choice. But that is neither here nor there. Hello, welcome to my chat. Welcome to my live stream. I'm Kelsey D. Crawford. Wow, I'm going to start that at the top again. I'm Kelsey D. Crawford. I am a comic artist. I was trying to say Crawford and comic artist at the same time. Brain short-circuited there for a second. Today I'm going to be drawing. By that I mean I'm going to be sketching in and then I'm going to ink in a coloring book page. This coloring book page is something I'm making for my club members, members of my fan clubs. Clubs is a alternative that I built myself to Patreon. If you'd like to find out more about the fan clubs and how you can support my stuff for a monthly pledge, you can find out more info in the doobly-doo or by going to kelseygcrawford.com/links. Hello, Jessica. Happy to see you in the live chat. So today, the topic of this particular coloring book page is actually a setting for an upcoming, I just realized the light was off, but it is the setting for a short novella that is going to be coming out hopefully before the end of the year, fingers crossed. But this novella is set in the same locale as my comics Johnson and Sir and Thoughtful Dinosaur. So it's in the same universe. It's not the same town, because Fantasyville in that universe is an entirely separate town all on its own. This is set in a little town called Seabank. Sits right on the coastline of a big old sea, hence the name Seabank. This particular locale, there's the mouse. This particular locale is for a cave house. Right in here is the entrance to the cave house. I'm actually going to label this inks. Here we go. Start the different layer. We're going to turn the inks off for a hot second, because there's a couple of details that I want to get figured out for this particular page. What you're looking at right now is just the roughed thumbnail version of it. So I'm going to be going in and sharpening up and tightening up the pencils first before I get to the inking stage, just to make sure that everything's all hunky-dory. But I wanted to draw this particular coloring book page because I was like, hey, this would be a nice little way to let folks know that there is a new book coming out pretty soon, and it gets you a little visual for the story itself. It's also like nice and wide, so I could feasibly have it double as the desktop wallpaper if I wanted it to. You can really start to feel my Akira Toriyama influence because I'm going to be drawing a lot of rocks today. This is one thing that the man is well known for, is setting a lot of his locales and a lot of his fights in Dragon Ball Z out in the middle of the frickin' desert. I kind of understand, though, because, I mean, rocks are pretty easy to draw. Not gonna lie. Rocks and seas. It was probably just much easier for Toriyama and his assistant to do that. I also feel like it's a little bit of a Journey to the West callback, because Journey to the West did originally take place in ancient China, and there's a surprising amount of deserts in China. I mean, there's all kinds of landscapes that are in China, so. Let's see. I hope you don't mind. I do have some snackies off screen here. Excuse. I'm actually going to redo that line. Because I want there to be some depth, but I also don't want it to go off the page too much. Because I still want there to be the implication that there is a sea out in the yonder. Again, cliff edge out here. We'll see how long the stream lasts, because I usually have dinner at this hour. That's why I have the snacks off screen. Keep me satiated while I work on this here page. If you have any questions about my process or anything, feel free to ask in the live chat. Whilst I work on this, I will answer to the best of my ability. Oh, actually, come to think of it, there was something. I meant to do this at the top of the episode. I'll go ahead and, well, let me finish the shading on this part here. I'm just going to hatch this. Whoops. Was not what I wanted. There we go. I'm going to hatch this little cave part here. This is just the pencil stage, so we're not going for perfection here. We're just going for get the idea down. Okay. Before I forget, I wanted to give a shout out to all of the backers of Be Not APURRED, the Kickstarter that I ran back in June. This series of shout outs on a video or stream is way overdue. So I appreciate everybody's patience while I got this put together. So I'm going to do this at the top of this stream. I will do this also at the end of the stream to make sure that if you tune in a little bit late, that you get to hear these shout outs. So I want to give a shout out to the backers of the Be Not APURRED holographic keychains on Kickstarter back in June. These backers include Carlos Rivera, Delphina, Kat, Stephen Hines, JessicaMcIntosh, who's in the chat right now, Rainer Kannenstein, Robert, Kiwi, Ursa Astra Creations, Callie and Topaz, T from Feed the Multiverse Fantasy Maps, and Eileen M. Eileen, if you are watching this now or if you're catching the replay, I still owe you a commission for a past Kickstarter that you supported. Please email me as soon as possible once you get something figured out, and then we'll get it sorted. So thank you everybody who backed the Be Not APURRED Kickstarter. I will do shout outs again at the end of the live stream, but I wanted to do that now before I forgot. It's also a very good thing that I'm doing a recording of this stream as well, because one thing I do want to do is I want to go back into the recording part and edit to just the thank you section so that I can post just an individual video of those shout outs as well. Thinking ahead. One of the few instances where I'm thinking ahead and it's paying off. Speaking of head, I really need to shave my head again. It's starting to get a little too long in the peach fuzz for me, so Actually, I want to adjust the line real quick. So just remembered a particular detail that shows up in the story, which is that there is a stack of firewood that goes here. One of the more fun pieces of world building that I incorporated into this story is that there used to be cave houses along the cliff sides of the beach here. Not everybody lives in these like cliffside dwellings anymore. That was implied to be something that the old ancestors did, and now there's only like 1 or 2 people in the town that still have like cave houses here. But this is one of those cave houses. It's actually inspired by a dream that I had, but I have a feeling that this dream was also inspired by the real world case of, oh gosh, what was the name of that mesa? Like Mesa Verde, pretty sure is what the official name of it is. But the old mesas out west and going into Arizona and New Mexico, like Montezuma's Castle, that sort of thing. The houses that are like carved into the side of a cliff. Like, I always thought those were just so cool. Fun fact, you can't really tour Montezuma's palace publicly anymore because kind of for the same reason that you can't go into certain sections of Chaco Canyon or Chaco Culture National Park anymore, because they used to be open to the public, but the public foot traffic shifted everything so much that some of the ruins were starting to fall apart. So they were like, okay, we need to reduce the foot traffic so that stuff stops falling off of the cliff. So a good chunk of the ruins nowadays are pretty much reserved only for the any indigenous people who still reside in those areas, or researchers who are going into the ruins and studying the archaeological ruins that are there. That sort of thing. Jessica just mentioned, I miss having hair that short sometimes. My wife likes it long, so I keep it. Well, that's very sweet. I'm not sure that I would ever want to grow my hair long ever again. Maybe I'll bring the mohawk back. Maybe. But I haven't decided one way or the other. There is a little part of me that really does like this, like, peach fuzz shortness of it. It's just, it's so easy to cut. It's so nice. Okay, I think I got it. I had to think for a second because the original vision that I had for this particular pass going up the cliff, while it does have like a kind of footpath to it, it's not like it's not detached like the footpath is in The Legend of Jamie Roberts, the webcomic that I do. This is more, it's built into the cliff face. It's just a matter of, there we go. I think I got it. Let me turn off the thumbs to see how that works. I think it could work. Let me finish out that footpath real quick. like that there. There we go. Okay. By the way, since I'm not really doing conventions for the rest of 2023, I'm looking at streaming more frequently here on YouTube. I've pretty much given up on Twitch. I'm not going to bother with Twitch at this point. But I do want to stream more on YouTube and do more YouTube videos and YouTube shorts and that sort of thing. Really just like get more energy here. So to that end, if you have recommendations for days that you would tune in for a live stream from me, feel free to let me know in the live chat. The previous consensus before was Sundays were a pretty good time for people. Sundays are realistically the day that I keep off. For a multitude of reasons. Not really religious, because I'm not of a particular faith that observes the Sabbath on Sundays, or Saturdays for that matter. But in general, I live in a culture where Sunday is considered the Sabbath and a rest day, so a lot of stuff is just closed. So I usually just treat Sunday as like, well, everywhere else is closed. I'm just gonna stay home and read a book or something. I mean, I'm willing to revisit it, but right now, Sundays are just my day off right now. You know what? I think it's this line. I think it's this line that is bothering me so much. There we go. Yeah, I think it's what that was. And that line bothers me, actually. Wrong window. Right now, this streaming space is a bit of a mess of electronics and cords. Like, y'all don't want to see the behind-the-scenes stuff for this right now. Okay. I have an idea for this rock pillar, what I want it to look like. So hope you'll bear with me. I'm going to be poking around my files for a hot second looking for the original reference image, because there is a rock formation in Navajo Nation that comes to top of mind. I'm going to see if I can find it. And I'll get into the context for it as soon as I find the thing. That's Chaco Canyon. There it is. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go with man, there's two different images that could work. I'm gonna go with this one. So in the upper right corner in the viewfinder over here, there is a rock formation that's called Spider Rock. It's actually considered one of the sacred sites among the Navajo. It's considered to be the place where the people arose out of the previous world and came into this one. So it was like a connection to the underworld where they came out and emerged into this realm. They did so at Spider Rock. At least that's how the legends go. And Spider Rock is in Canyon de Chelly. It is very cool. I don't think you could climb to the top of it. At least there's not a ton of advertisements for such endeavors that I noticed. It's just a rock formation that you can see off of the edge of a cliff nearby, because it's in the middle of a canyon. It is considered to be like one of the, I don't want to say one of the tallest points, but it is definitely like in a section of the canyon that has the tallest cliff drops. It's like 1,200 feet straight down. So, you know, caution. It is very steep, very dangerous. But this gives me a rough idea of how it is that I want to draw the rock formations that I have in mind. So I'm going to kind of reference that real quick. I'm going to turn off the thumb layer, actually, and see if that helps. There we go. Okay. Also, the really nice thing about rock formations is that you don't have to draw straight lines. They're just lines. Figured this would be a nice little creative challenge for anybody who wants to tackle this in the adult coloring book sense. Bit of a rock slide over on this little edge over here. Okay. Oh. I feel like this is peak ADHD brain. Jessica says, my desk is a complete disaster, but I can't function without the mess. Yeah. On the one hand, I get it. For a little bit, I wondered if my weird neurodivergent brain was ADHD as well as autistic, but then I took a ADHD like analysis test, and it was pretty thoroughly like, no, you don't have ADHD. And I'm like, okay. So, because it included questions like, is it physically painful for you to sit still? And I'm like, what kind of question is this? I get it, but it is so very obviously not my experience. I can't really imagine what it's like to feel pain sitting still. I recognize that that's a reality for a lot of people, but it's just not my reality. Occurred to me since it's right there. Okay, so we got that pretty well figured out. Huzzah. There we go. Sometimes this happens. I'll turn a layer back on, but because I got OBS and Clip Studio Paint running at the same time, sometimes it kind of hiccups a little bit. So I just have to kind of go back in and wriggle the canvas around a little bit, and that tricks it into being like, oh, wait, you did turn on that layer. Gotcha. Again, these are pencils. They don't have to be perfect, but there we go. Cool. Well, we got that. Now, there's supposed to be a wood contraption along this cliff that I need to figure out how I'm going to construct the thing. Because it's supposed to be a lift system so that you can have stuff going from the top of the cliff to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top, and it's like a little like jerry-rigged elevator kind of situation. But the tricky bit is figuring out how the thing is constructed. So that I may have to, I really should have pulled up some like research before starting this stream, and I did not do that. But one thing I can do is I can draw the shed that's here, because there's a little shed that stands here. Okay, you just have that kind of sitting and chilling. Okay, thumb layer is turned off. That you probably wouldn't be able to tell because, again, that tricksy thing about layers. Okay, actually, I'm going to erase this line. It looks too much like a tangent with the mountain. Okay. Drawing some little clouds. Hope add a little bit of depth. I really shouldn't fill in too much detail with the clouds though, because again, this is supposed to be a coloring book page, so it doesn't need to be super duper detailed. Okay, 1 second, I'm gonna have a little snacky. Eventually I'll figure out how to have atmospheric music play at the same time as the stream. That way it's not like total silence punctuated with me talking on occasion. I have some idea of how it would work, but okay. Excuse me. Okay. Gotta figure out this contraption thingamadoop. Okay, if I go to Google and I go to lift platform made of wood, what pops up? Nothing. Nothing that looks like what I need. Okay. Yeah, no, nothing like what I need. Okay. Okay. Time to get the engineer brain going. So, we need to have a base. And at the base are these arms, or at least the anchors. Okay, so we got the anchors going, and we got the okay. Okay, there is the thing by which the elevator hangs off of. And then there's the rope, comes down to here, and there's this centrifugal system right here. And the lever will be around here somewhere, probably two ends here. Okay, and then down. Okay. Might need a anchor beam here and an anchor beam here. Okay. Then there's this part here. That part there. Up and up. Okay. I'll tidy that up a bit whenever I get to the inking stage, but I think as far as you know, building a platform or a elevator lift situation goes, I think this is about, oops, about as good as you can get it. It is not centered. Oh, but there we go. Okay. Nah, we're going to delete that line. Boop. Okay. Get to the rest of that later, I suppose. But, yeah. Here we go. Pretty good. Solid foundation right there. We're going to save our progress right now.
Oh, that's a good Brie.
I set out little wet treats for Brie, and she wasn't eating them earlier, but now she is.
That's a good baby.
Try looking at ship rigging. Oh, actually, that's a really good idea. Oh, well, that's... Okay, I just typed in ship rigging diagram and all it gave me was the sails. Still, though, there should be something. You'd think. Ship loading platform? Maybe? That's a step closer. I'm looking at the search results right now. Some of these are closer to what I had in mind, and others are like way, way different. I would set up the OBS so that I could do a screen share to show you what I'm looking at, but this is not configured to do that. So the descriptions I will provide for you are, it's showing me a lot of those metal oil ship rigs, which is closer to what I had in mind, but it's not exactly what I had in mind. So like a crane situation. That's what I need, is I need a crane situation. Okay, so crane on a wood ship, maybe? Oh, finally! We got there. That's what it took, was just typing that in. Okay, so a couple of things. Okay, the design that I winged was actually not too far off from an actual, like, wood crane. So, cool. I'm glad to see that I was at least somewhat on the right track there. Okay, there's a couple of different ways to construct a crane on a wood ship. But, yeah, a wooden crane. There's actually a search result that popped up that somebody took a picture of this in like in the 1960s, and it looks like it works for my purposes. So I'm just going to kind of use that. So let me see if I can save this image, and then we can bring it up in that little preview finder on Clip Studio Paint so that you can see. Ooh, actually, we're going to save this in a different folder. Doot. Okay. Oh, okay. So we're going to go into Clip Studio. We're going to open, and we are going to go to in this folder here. There it is. This was what popped up. So this is actually much closer to what I had in mind. Over here in the upper right corner. Yeah, this is a lot closer to what I had in mind. So, yeah, I do not mind murdering my darling here. I'm just gonna select with the lasso around this configuration, and then we're gonna X and paste. And I'm gonna call that layer Pencil's Old Rig. There we go. That way it's not like a total delete, so that I have that record. But we are going to have this, because this was part of the crane sitch, very clearly. And then we're gonna Cool. And yeah, that wire can stay the same. And then we're okay. So it needs to have a tall pole here, and for the sake of perspective, because we're looking at this from kind of like a lower view, we're actually going to shrink this a wee bit. Okay. And oh, we can make that more dramatic. Oh, there we go. That's how I draw all of my lines, all of my straight lines. Hello, I am a professional. Okay, so we got that, and we're gonna have the wheels kind of down here-ish. Again, we're playing with perspective, and anchor. Actually, that anchor is a little too off kilter. I'm actually gonna switch the viewfinder, and I'm gonna mirror image this thing, and boop, much better. Boop. Okay. Back over to this so that I know what I'm drawing. Yeah. Yeah, that is not bad, actually. Little bitty platform. Going off the cliff here. Boom! That works. Okay, now we've got the pencils all figured out. Heck yeah! That is the pencil layer for our coloring page. I'm very tempted to just leave it like this. Because I think having a more pencil-y, sketchy coloring page would be interesting. But I'm also wondering how well it would print if I did that. 1 second. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how this wood crane turned out. We got there eventually. Thank you for the idea, Jessica. It worked out really well. Oh, man. If I could just make a recommendation in terms of snacks, sorry, content warning food, but if I can make a recommendation, almond butter does have an interesting flavor to it, but try to eat as much of it as early as you can. Don't try to like save some for later, because the longer that it stays like in the fridge, the drier it gets. And after a point, it's like trying to chew on a rubber band. So, like a very flavorful rubber band, but still. Yeah. I figured I'd give almond butter a try because I really like cookie butter. And I do love peanut butter, don't get me wrong. But I like trying other kinds of nut butters. Or, God, I miss cookie butter. I used to have cookie butter all the time when I lived in Phoenix, because the neighborhood that I lived in, we were really close to a Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's had cookie butter. It was a seasonal thing, so we only really got it during the holiday season, but oh my God, it was so good. I miss cookie butter so much. I might have to ask my sister, who still lives out there, to send me for Christmas, just a jar of cookie butter, because I miss it. I miss it so much. You know what? Let me actually make another layer here, and because I worked with a gray tint to the paper to try to not murder my eyes glaring at white so much, but yeah, actually I think I might just leave it with these like pencil-y lines. I am going to redraw this one. Opacity 50%. But honestly, I think... Oop, there we go. Hold on. I was drawing in white. I don't want it drawn in white. I want it drawn in black. That was strange. We're going to erase that. But I kind of like having this really pencil-y look for a coloring book page. So I might just leave it. Might just leave it as is. I think I'll close up some of the line gaps though, because if anybody is going to be coloring this in digitally, you want those closed lines, or else your paint bucket tools are going to like throw a hissy fit. So I'm just going to fill in some stuff real quick. That I'll leave a little vague, but yes. So I think this could also double as the desktop wallpaper for my fan club members. For folks who don't know, the fan clubs are a alternative to Patreon that I run. I run it on my own website as well as on Ko-fi. On Ko-fi, it's under memberships. But by pledging, say, $3 a month or $5 a month, you get early access to updates of my webcomic, The Legend of Jamie Roberts. You get discounts for my online shop. You get all kinds of other little goodies, and anytime that you back one of my crowdfunding campaigns, you get extra rewards included with your pledges. For example, The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 2 backers get a exclusive sticker. I need to remember off the top of my head if it was Thomas. It was Thomas. Thomas was the club exclusive sticker for members of my fan club who backed The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 2. So there are a couple of different tiers. For the more budget-friendly one, you can go with $3 a month. But $5 a month also gets you zines, because I make at least one new zine every month. So if you join at $5 a month, you get the zines that I make. And if you join at $15 a month, you get desktop wallpapers, phone wallpapers, and a bunch of other really cool stuff, as well as zines. $3 a month gets you the early access to the webcomics and shop discounts and that sort of thing. No matter how much you pledge on the clubs, whatever your monthly subscription is, you will get discounts on commissions. That's just a thing that's going to happen. The exact percentage, I think, depends on the season. I think for the upcoming holiday season, it's going to be closer to like a 20 to 30% discount. I'm still figuring out holiday offers. I'm actually talking with a bunch of artists right now about doing a holiday pop-up shop event on CrowdFunder. More details about that will be unveiled the closer we get to October. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, yeah. I honestly thought that I was going to be inking in this thing, but I honestly really like how it looks just with pencils. This is so nice. Yeah. I really like how this looks with pencils. So I think I'm just going to leave it as like drawn like this rather than trying to draw with the inks on top of it. I really like this. I really do. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think little dots. A little bit of water here. Yeah. At this point, I'm just polishing up some nooks and crannies as they appear. Yeah, I really like this. I like how this turned out. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that, honestly. So we're gonna save our progress real quick. And you know, it's been about an hour. Make it look like a field sketch. Exactly. And that's kind of the vibe that I want to go with for any art associated with this particular novella or short story. I really wanted to have a more like field sketch, like the first word that came to mind was homey, but I don't think that's necessarily the right word, but definitely more like something that like you would see somebody like draw in their sketchbook, because the other image that I had in mind to draw was actually the map of Seabank as drawn by one of the characters in the novella. I wanted to draw that for the desktop wallpaper for my club members. Still thinking about making that happen. But the particular map is going to look a little bit more like the map that Jamie drew for The Legend of Jamie Roberts, Volume 1. For folks who backed The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 1, one of the little bonuses slipped in with your book was a map of the new lands as drawn by Jamie and friends. I mean, they had the original map that they took off of the wall, but then they started drawing notes on top of it, and that's what that reward was. I thought I would bring that back with the map of Seabank, so that will be coming up very soon. There's a couple other little rewards that I'm looking to make, but those are the top two. Is this particular coloring book page and the map of Seabank as drawn by one of the main characters. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that one. So with all of that done, I'll do all the exporting off stream. But I actually think I'm going to wrap this stream up a little early because I have achieved the goal. The goal today was to draw a coloring book page. And also, I really want to make dinner. The chicken, I think, is pretty well thawed by this point. So I'm going to have some, like, Dijon chicken. Sorry, content warning, food. But, yeah, I'm thinking about making some, like, a chicken with a Dijon sauce. And some potatoes. And have that for dinner. That actually sounds really good. I think yeah. So we have 5 minutes to 7. I'll go ahead and do my wrap-up announcements. So, I may have mentioned this in the stream. I may have not. I have a crowdfunder going right now for Mr. DINO Pride keychains. Actually, I'm going to take a second to show a mock-up of something. I'm very excited about this. And I'll get into why I have this mock-up in a moment. Boop. Here he is. So, with the Mr. DINO Pride Keychain Crowdfunder, we actually hit our base goal. So now we're working towards our first stretch goal. If we can raise $244 before September 30th, I will make sticker and keychain designs with Bronto. This is Bronto. Bronto is the Brontosaurus friend of Mr. DINO. Bronto loves to swim in lakes and hates vines because his neck gets tangled up in vines a lot. He is very cute and I love him. And I would really like to make keychains and stickers with Bronto. So if you would like to see that happen, head on over to crowdfunder.com/Mr. Dino Pride to select a reward of your choice. And if we can make our goal, we can make this little dinosaur happy and make little stickers. The actual like sticker rewards and keychains and stuff will be listed very soon for Bronto. Mr. Dino is already available, and he's definitely happening because we hit our base goal. In the next couple of days, I'm hoping to get the listings ready for Bronto here. I'm also working on doing the final touches for The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 2 to send that off to the printer. I did a final read through today. I have a page full of notes. I'm already halfway through the edits that I need to make. I just need to do the final edits, get some registrations done, and then ship all those files off to the printer. Hoping to get that done before the end of the week. So all of these updates are going to be at fantasyvilleproductions.com. That's where you can find all of my updates for crowdfunding campaigns. Speaking of crowdfunding campaigns, I do want to give one more shout out to those who backed Be Not APURRED on Kickstarter. One of the rewards available for backers was that I would give you a shout out on YouTube. So I'm doing this on this stream. This stream is being recorded. I will also trim the section of the recording with this in it so that it can be its own standalone video, and then all the backers can get their shout outs that way. So I want to give a shout out to these following backers who helped make Be Not APURRED keychains a reality. These people are Carlos Rivera, Delphina, Kat, Stephen Hines, JessicaMcIntosh, who's been hanging out in the chat with me today. Thank you, Jessica. Rainer Kannenstein, Robert, Kiwi, Ursa Astra Creations, Callie and Topaz. I know you're lurking. You don't have to say hi. I know you're lurking. T from Feed the Multiverse Fantasy Maps, and Eileen M. There were also a number of backers who wanted to remain anonymous, and I want to respect their wishes. So, thank you for making the Be Not APURRED keychains a reality. I also gave shoutouts to everybody who backed The Legend of Jamie Roberts Volume 2 in a previous stream. You can find that on my YouTube channel when you look at streams or live. I don't remember what the tab name is, but it's on my YouTube channel. That is down there. And there's also going to be links in the doobly-doo for everything that I'm mentioning. The Mr. Dino Crowdfunder, my club links, the webcomics that I do, including thelegendofjamieroberts.com. All of that is going to be linked in the YouTube doobly-doo. So, all of that said, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully the next stream will happen sooner rather than later. I'm hoping to do streams every Tuesday. We will see how that goes. I'm still getting a schedule figured out since I'm not doing live Since I'm not doing conventions for the rest of 2023, at least that's kind of the goal. I'm going to be doing streams a lot more often. So I'm hoping to do like maybe 2 streams a week. I think that'd be cool. And also keep me on top of some of these projects because I have a lot that I want to make. So anyway, let's go ahead and close out Bronto here and show off the thing that we drew in today's stream. Also, thank you, Jessica, for the suggestion of the crane, because that actually really helped solidify this piece. So thank you for that. Thank you, everybody, for watching and lurking. If you did not participate in the chat, that is totally fine. You are welcome to lurk while I work. If you missed the live, that's totally okay. This will post as a replay on my YouTube channel later. Do all the YouTube things, subscribe, notifications, and all that jazz. You're also welcome to leave comments on the replay itself. That's a thing. If the spirit moves you, go for it. So that's all I've got for now. Any future live streams are going to be announced on my email newsletter. Link at kelseydcrawford.com or in the doobly-doo. You can also just subscribe to this YouTube channel. That works too. Thank you all so much for watching. You are